What's up, everybody? Jeffrey Lyles. You are listening to Lyles Movie Files. Hopefully, by the time you hear this, it is still pre-Christmas, and we're gonna give you one last present with one more podcast right before Christmas. So happy holidays, little brother. How are you?
Doing good. Finish shopping. Ready to wrap. Let's get it.
Congratulations, Chief. What's going on with you?
Everything is well. Everything is well. Happy holidays to everyone and everyone listening.
Hopefully, the merry bells are ringing as well. Gunner, what's up, man?
What's up, y'all? What's going on? How's it going?
Oh, well, I mean, since you queued me up so perfectly, I've got to talk about the mind blowing experience that I had on Friday because it may have been the greatest thing that I've seen in the last, so when was Avengers Endgame out? Since then, yes. The Mandalorian wrapped its second season, and honestly, if the season finale had ended with Moff Gideon going, "Yeah, they're coming," and you're screwed, and it was just a to be continued, I'd have been like, "Oh man, what a great cliffhanger! This is how they used to do back in the days. This is perfect. What a great season this was. Awesome, amazing, good stuff. So many cool characters, and yeah, that's the way to do it. They brought in characters from Clone Wars, started teasing some stuff from Rebels too. I'm all about it. But then that last 15 minutes blew my mind. We got to see a Rogue One Vader unleashing with my favorite movie hero going nuts on the Terminator, Death Destroyer, Dark Troopers of Moff Gideon. And then every scene, it was like yo 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 yo. I think, whoa. And we started to see the black glove, and I was like, yo, don't play. And then the hood came up, and I was just bouncing up and down on my couch like I was 5 years old. No lie. And yeah, I was very happy. I called Jason immediately afterwards and asked him why was making Star Wars that hard. And what did you say, bro?
Uh, if you take 2 seconds to, look at the material, it's not that flipping hard. I may have used a little more colorful word than flipping, but yeah. Uh, that last 15 minutes of Mandalorian, if you were a Star Wars fan and you weren't geeked out of your mind, I don't know what's wrong with you. I hope your life is doing well. But if that didn't perk you up, I don't know what really can. Um, yeah, and that was, and if you haven't watched it, this is a full spoiler. Uh, seriously, this wasn't some hermit bad and hating the world, blue nukes swilling, jack sass, can't be bothered to deal with my stupid spoiled little nephew. What else? Can't bother to deal with the whole galaxy going to crap. Luke Skywalker. Nah, this was I am the guy who whooped Vader's tail, got him to turn back to the light side, and then taunted the Emperor, Luke Skywalker, who saved the whole galaxy. That was that dude who came out in the end of Mandalorian, and that was like, yeah, we're done. I don't know if we're getting a season 3 of Mandalorian, but I'm cool. Great season, great show, great idea. Like glad to see that there was no trilogy after this. Like, this is the way to go. This is the way. I'm out.
I felt like this was if they, and we know there's going to be a million things after this, but if there was nothing else to come from Star Wars, this was the perfect bow because it gives us that new hope that Luke is going to restore the Jedi to the prominence that they were before everything came around with the Sith, Palpatine, and everybody like that in the Empire. And yeah, we don't need to see that. Yeah, everything that's been built up doesn't matter. From movie to movie, it doesn't count. Gunnar, what did you think about it?
Man, listen, I done watched that scene that night, like 3, 4 times. I was like, yo, I just watched that scene. My man was like, look, when he when he took that hood off, That man looked at him like the CGI version of him looked at everybody else like I have a hallway scene, like my father before me. I was like, yeah, that's real. Because if you compare both hallway scenes from Rogue One and that one, it's not quite frame by frame, but there were some similarities. They're like, oh yeah, well. So I went over to Rogue One on Disney Plus. Here's your plug. And I was just like, let me just watch this end scene because there were a lot of similarities there. Yep, there it is. So I was just psyched, man. I mean, come on, man. I'm psyched about what's coming soon. You know what I mean? With everything else that they bringing out. How are they going to tie in? I'm seeing like crossovers, like CW crossovers, only better. You know what I mean? Like I'm seeing a lot of stuff that they're doing here. I mean, Boba Fett's Boba Fett. He's fine. I don't know if I watch the show, but Ahsoka, freaking, Obi-Wan, even the Rangers might be fun too, right? And then, yeah, I'm down for this thing, man. I don't know what's gonna happen with this Darksaber though, man. I mean, my man got the Darksaber.
There's so many possibilities, and
Yeah.
honestly, from a point where Star Wars looked like it was dead after the Rise of Skywalker, where it was like, I'm the biggest Star Wars fan that I know, but I was like, yeah, I'm so good with Disney's version of Star Wars. I don't care what else they do because the people in charge don't understand Star Wars. And Rogue One was a fluke, and Solo managed to get by before they started realizing we can make bad Star Wars movies and still make $1 billion. And then the Mandalorian came. I was like, whoa, this is good. Seriously, in the last 6 months, this is proof positive that when you do something good, people will spend money. I have bought more Star Wars figures than I have Marvel or WWE figures. And that's because they're cranking out more stuff. But I don't know if you guys ever stumbled onto a figure aisle back when these sequel trilogy films were out. They couldn't give those figures away. They were just stacked all over the pegs, all the random, hey, this would be a cool looking character like Boba Fett, but we're not going to develop him. And here's Rogue with her slightly off color white outfit from the first one, now that she's wearing in the third film. But now you can't find any of these guys. You can't find any Mandalorian figures. You can't find anything else. So, yeah, really happy. And my wallet is like, you son of a. So, Chief, what you think about this bad boy, man?
It was the greatest surprise since Luke, I am your father. Um, it made up for the last 6 movies. Um, it was, it definitely wiped that bad Star Wars taste out your mouth. Um, this series has been excellent. Um, and just the fact that you know, the, I realize they can't do a young Skywalker series. I guess I'm not sure if they'll be able to CGI him the whole way because it would be kind of cool, right, to follow him and see how he what he does from there on or whatever. But I just I am excited for these mini shows, these what I mean, these mini series. See where they're going. Like Gunnar said, I can't. The Ahsoka series I'm in. Did you say there's going to be an Obi-Wan series too, Gunnar?
Yes, sir. And Hayden Christensen is going to be back as Darth Vader.
So what
I
are
don't
they?
care about that.
So hold up. There's going to be an Obi-Wan series with Anakin in it or Vader?
Yeah,
Darth Vader.
both.
They
Both,
promised
man,
that we're going to see them fighting. So we're going to have
somehow,
the sequel.
some way. It's gonna be great.
So
it's only four. It's only 4 episodes. It's like a limited series.
So Hayden Christensen is going to be dressed up as Vader?
Apparently, but they're both excited about it. It's very interesting.
Okay. Well, Hayden Christensen, I'm sure he's excited. I haven't seen him in anything since, really.
No, that Bama was in some money grabbing movie, right? Some bank robbing movie that didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
What was that?
Jumper?
I don't remember. I didn't watch it all the way through.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
Good.
exactly.
It had
That's
a
probably
really
why
good
when the
cast.
phone rang, he was like, "Hello, yeah."
Word? Okay.
Right. But so yeah, I can't. That'll be interesting, man. You know, and I wonder if they're going to
Takers.
do because you know this little
Grogu.
Grogu Grogu is pretty popular now. Like I was just in CVS tonight, and they got a Grogu dolls. Um, so I wonder if they're going to do some type of spin-off with him eventually, maybe a little bigger. Um, with him doing this thing, you know, it's you know the possibilities are endless in this new Star Wars universe they created,
It's
and
wide open.
you
And it
know,
didn't
and like
seem
I
like
said,
that
man,
was wide open at all.
they made up for the last 3 episodes. They made up for because you know in the three before then with Anakin, they weren't bad, they just weren't great. So they made up for that. You know what I mean? So the last the three greatest was Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi. Like those were, and now Mandalorian. You know what I mean? And Rogue One. So yeah, I'm damn I'm damn good excited about this. I can't wait to see, and they've got to let my man do them all personally.
John Favreau, Dave Filoni.
Yeah, they've
Awesome.
got to let him. They've got to let him
Take
you
over.
know do what he do. I mean, at this point, he's going to be the Star Wars franchise savior. You know what I mean?
So the
Um,
Kevin Feige of Star Wars.
Yeah.
is that the cat from before?
No, that's the dude from Marvel Studios
Oh,
who makes sure everything retains a certain level of consistency and quality. Something that the
Started
Star
by
Wars
whom
films
though?
clearly did not have when they were
well,
conceiving the sequel
Oh
trilogy.
yeah, well true. Didn't Favreau start this whole thing with the Iron Man 1?
He did,
yeah.
dude. I mean, like,
That's what I'm saying.
how do you start the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's not going to be the thing that people are going to remember you for? Like, they're going to be like, oh, he did that too? Cool. But he also really brought back Star Wars. Like, that's
He's that
amazing.
dude. He's that dude, man. He's that dude that's just like, I'm just gonna keep getting better and better. I don't care. I know you saw me in Sopranos acting a doof. I know you. I know I did Elf and still got sued for doing Elf.
Dude,
But
he was in Friends as Monica's UFC billionaire boyfriend.
this dude was the random UFC boyfriend. Thank you for reminding me of that. Now I remember that entire stupid arc.
Yeah, man. I was like, oh, that guy from Friends.
This
Oh,
dude
okay.
just said, you know what? I'm just gonna make a name for myself. That's how you just build upon yourself, man. That dude's like a freaking inspiration. I hope he's not racist.
And he did Chef, which is a good movie too.
Did what?
Chef, little indie size.
Oh yeah. Thank you. I remember now. Thank you.
Like that one.
Dang.
So yeah, dude, he's just bringing quality. And Chief, you kind of said something that, at least on the rumor wire right now, may not be accurate. They are apparently, maybe, possibly considering a Luke Skywalker series. But they're not quite sure which way they're going to go with that. CGI or have someone like Sebastian Stan, aka the Winter Soldier, play post Jedi Luke Skywalker. And based off of the excitement from the entire world, I think they'll try to do whatever is possible to make that work.
Hopefully there's some timelines or time warps somewhere. Shit.
Yeah, I'm pulling for a time warp so everyone can forget about the sequel trilogy.
Well, somebody wrote that the Disney sequel trilogy takes place in the exact same universe that the Star Wars holiday special took place.
I'm okay with that.
I am too. Actually.
Thoroughly okay with that.
Yeah, that works.
That and you know what the funny thing they have in common? Chewie by himself just grunting a lot. Ugh, yeah. Undeveloped characters, man. They have a
At
lot
least
of
in the
stuff in
holiday
Sci-Fi.
special, Chewie didn't have somebody else going Ray all the time.
How do you know? All we heard was like 45 minutes of Chewie talk. 45 minutes.
Right. So here's the funny thing. Jay sent me a Facebook post that I had done in 2015. I think it was. And it was right after Force Awakens, where I still had hope, a new hope for this sequel trilogy. And like, I don't know about killing Han, but okay, let's see where it goes. Because, even I knew that Harrison Ford was like, we can kill me off in Empire. I'm like, whoa, slowly roll this. So I wasn't shocked that he didn't make it through to the end, but I was still a little But I was like, oh man, J.J. Abrams, good job. Franchise good hands. How wrong was I exactly? Super wrong. And this is a sequel trilogy, or the sequel trilogy may be the worst trilogy I've ever seen of a big budget production. So I wanted to make that disclaimer for anybody who wants to bring up Police Academy or Leprechaun or something like that, even though I'd argue that those have more entertainment value than the sequel trilogy. So what happened? Because in the first one, he sets it up in a way that, okay, here's a framework. I basically just modernized Star Wars. But you guys seem to love it, like it, great. Was it just the second and the third films that just totally obliterated everything in its path and then retroactively made Force Awakens worse because it's clear there is no plan and they're literally just winging it as they go along?
I think everybody's answer on this call should be like, yes. I mean,
Yeah,
answer the question. What's the next thing? What's the next topic we're talking about? Because the answer is it's probably going to be unilaterally yes.
Well, okay. Like, once you watch Force Awakens twice, you really saw, wait a minute, this is like Star Wars on steroids, and Luke is awesome at everything. He doesn't even he just goes down the Death Star shaft without even needing backup and blows up the Death Star. I mean, he just shakes off Darth Vader without even flying an X-wing for the first time. So
yeah,
that was a little. You're like, wait a minute. It's like it's like any character doing this is like, really, you're a little ridiculous. And the next set of movies, again, not having a John Favreau, Dave Filoni to say, slow all of your roll before you just do stupid stuff. And like a Kevin Feige would have been like, yeah, we're not going to do that. No, that's not going to get us money later on. And nobody to say no. It was just like, I think that's what they do in Star Wars. They have lightsabers, right? Yeah.
Right.
They have a bad feeling about something.
There's a race scene in every Star Wars movie. Okay, we got that. Yeah.
50 of them, including emus, racing emus.
Yeah. And we got some
in a casino.
It's a plot that doesn't go anywhere. Well, I'm sure they probably have one of those in Star Wars. Sure, sounds like Star Wars movies. And we'll make Palpatine. Sure, he's a big guy. I saw his name before.
Hold on, that's just the second film. I think you covered everything, the checklist of everything they did, and that's probably more of how it was. But even with Force Awakens, it's like everything is wrong about that movie. And I think the biggest problem, the fork in the road that just dooms the entire sequel trilogy, is they don't move on from the original trilogy characters. If they had just introduced Rey, Poe, and Finn and never mentioned Han, Luke, and Leia, I think those movies, and Palpatine, those movies would be just fine. Because I wouldn't care. But I think the other problem is they confuse making us care about the caricatures of the original trilogy characters as some investment that we have with these new movies, which don't work because nobody acts consistent with the three films that we've already seen him in. Like, there's no way Luke is leaving his friends, where in every movie we saw, he's going off to the rescue to help. Oh, the Rebel Alliance needs help? Yes. The Empire is terrible. I want to join this thing. I want to leave my aunt and uncle to help. Wait, Luke and Leia and Han are being tortured in Cloud City. Yeah, I'm leaving my Jedi training to go help them. Oh, my friends are going to get sabotaged by this trap. I'm going to leave them so I can help ultimately save them and confront Darth Vader right now before he gets them. That's consistent with Luke Skywalker in every film. Him leaving and rolling out because, yeah, I think my nephew's really, really bad with the Force. I should kill him. That doesn't make sense at all. And
Okay.
Han,
All right. So here's my thing. As stupid as I think that was that changed just for the second one? Like, just because we need to be shocking for the second movie? Like, we're saying none of the stuff in the original trilogy matters, so we want to do something that's completely out of character for everybody to throw everything on its butt for the PG way of saying it. Because maybe he left, for a legitimate reason. Like, he was going to the dark side initially on J.J. Abrams' thing, but then he's like, nah, man, Ryan Gosling, nah, man, he almost went bad, and almost, yeah, that was the way to go. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe some of that minute we gotta like, he wouldn't throw his lightsaber and just treat it like trash, and we gotta make up for the trash in a second.
so what's interesting with Luke, because since he's such a big focal point of this Star Wars saga, nothing that Ryan Johnson does with him makes sense. I feel like he looked at it from hey, what would a celebrity 20 or 30 years removed from being a star think about people still referring to them as a star? And he looked at Luke as, let me deconstruct the hero myth and show that they're real people and have issues.
But and that's his MO, right? Like, that's his MO. Look at what else he's directed, right? Like, that's his MO, though. He deconstructs things. The time travel movie, Looper.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He deconstruct the shit out of, like, what you were supposed to think of, you meet your past self, all that mess, right? I think he did a good job with it because it wasn't hinging on an original story of established characters, and it didn't mean that he had to really establish these characters, right? Like for real. And then if you look at the TV shows, then he do probably one of the best Breaking Bad, the last episode. But you know what I mean? I'm like, well, that character was just unbelievably deconstructed already. So for him, he's like, hey, this is easy for me. Knives Out, okay, fine. You know what I mean? That was an interesting mystery, right? But a little bit deconstructed because it's not really a mystery. It was just racism. So it was like, oh, okay. Like, right? So the real enemy is racism. That's the real killer. So him taking on this, that's his MO. He's just the wrong director for this.
Yeah.
You don't get like this random ass, I want to break shit, hipster dude.
Exactly.
I'm just like, what the hell? Like, ugh.
Yeah.
It was quite terrible to me, man. I'm like, I keep going back and I'm like, I get what he did from I'm a disruptor. I like disrupting things. It's fine. I get what he was trying to do. It just wasn't good for this franchise.
Yeah.
And then, guess what? Nothing that he did made sense. And I don't only talking about Luke, but literally nothing in that movie made sense. I'm going all the way to like the Asian chick and her I don't even remember her name because they didn't develop her freaking character in it. Rose? I thought it was Jen. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
From the Cole movie.
I don't care. So she was like, I was like, there was a character that they just did not develop. She lost her twin. They got a little amulet. So she only got one half of the amulet. And then she was wasting emus. She's mad at him for lying because dude lied again for no reason after he already like was brave in one movie, and then he's a buffoon in this movie. You know what I mean? And then he's not brave anymore, so now he's lying again. I'm like, wait, what? And then next thing you know, they're like kissing at the end, like, because I love you. And I'm like, wait, what? Y'all racing the rickety pod shit. And then he's about to save everybody by just saying, forget it. And then none of that made sense, man. The only thing that made sense was the force projection, which oddly enough, that's what the fans, a lot of like diehards that supposedly read the Jedi handbook thing, Jedi Bible, and didn't somehow skip that part about force projection, were mad about. I'm like, well, actually, that's the only thing that actually made sense, because, yeah. But I did not dig the force projection of, like, I was just like, some of it was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, but then I'm just gonna do whatever I want. You know what? We're gonna grab these beads, and these beads are gonna be magically way across the universe, while there's still a slow speed chase happening over here in space with one ship that gets the last ship that's left ever. None of it made
no
sense.
one checked him with any of the wild ideas he wanted to do. Like, I feel like if Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni were script consultants, they could have made this work, but they would have been like, no, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do this. This doesn't make sense with anything that's been established beforehand. You can't do that.
There is no Holdo maneuver.
There's just so much stuff. Hey, maybe you should have her just tell Poe what the plan is. And maybe Poe should know what the plan is so he's not leading a revolt that goes nowhere and is not necessary. Man, that whole subplot is stupid too. Chief, tell me why these sequel trilogies suck so much. I'm sorry, or what do you think about the sequel trilogy?
A little bit what
this,
they suck.
I don't even know what. I didn't even like the way Luke died. So he projects himself across the galaxy, and then it was enough to kill him. Like, was he already weak? Was he sick? You know, I don't. They should have never made those movies. You know what I wanted to see more than anything? I wanted to see a Clone War movie. Like, if they had did a trilogy Clone War with with the characters, I think they still could have fit. Even though we know, in the end what happened with Anakin, I think they still should have did a Clone War movie.
Dude, after this season of Clone Wars, I feel like I got a Clone Wars movie. And with how many great episodes they had in that is not an area of Star Wars. I feel like, man, you know what? They really should have done something else with that or done more.
Well,
I'm
saying versus the trash we got versus a Clone War movie. I'm like, this movie should have never been done. Like, it's even like anything. Even if we followed Vader for for a trilogy.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And watched him hunt down Jedi's and
just right?
Yeah, like something different, anything different than what we got, man. It was like I mean, they turned Luke into a coward. He wasn't even like, he was just like a self-loathing bastard. He was weak. He was he was just pitying himself. He was just I'm like, who is this guy? And then it just didn't, like, they just, let's throw it together. Let's not make any sense of why he's doing this. It just, like, the whole thing just was crap. And then, is Rey with the Force? Does Finn have the Force? Okay, so Finn no longer has the Force. Rey is the Force person. She's defeating the Emperor on a month of Jedi training. It's just, you know what I mean? Kylo Ren he's been studying this thing his whole life.
He can't handle her anytime.
Yeah, and then she comes in and she's more powerful than he is. And I'm like, well, she's
if you're Palpatine's granddaughter, you still shouldn't be that powerful. Because freaking Mace Windu done defeated him in one blow in like 5
Exactly. And also, when the heck did Palpatine have time to get a chick pregnant?
Well, even with that, Palpatine was a clone at that point.
No,
so you're talking about
the original Palpatine.
We're talking about Prime Palpatine, who apparently, while he was blowing up planets with the Death Star, hooked up with some chick in Mos Eisley, got her pregnant, kept up with the kid, and then was like, hey, you don't have any force power. I can't do anything with you. I'm going to leave you to a side planet. And then, oh yeah, shoot, who knew that your child would have more power than anyone who ever existed. And
It's just
after we saw him spend like 30 years mentoring and grooming Anakin, you think he wouldn't have done the exact same thing with his own child? Like, it makes no sense.
Or the fact that if as soon as Ray actually developed any force power, he would have said, "Hey, buddy, I need you to come on here." Before Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker is playing no point in this. He's not waiting, let's see if this Kylo Ren guy makes sense. He's like, no, I'm actually going to get my grandniece that supposedly I don't know, because as soon as she shows any force affinity, I'll hear it. I'll know it. I can force project my voice over the whole galaxy, but I miss it. Come on.
No, not me. Not me, my clone. My clone.
No! And then Kylo Ren's talking to her in like video space force time. Like, hey, love. Did I forget my shirt again? How you doing?
You know what it
Let me
reminded me
snatch
of?
these
That shit
beads.
reminded
Let
me
me
of
snatch these beads.
Billy Zane from Demon Knight.
Yes.
He used to get
Yes.
into people's heads. And
Yes. Yes. I got the same vibe. I was like, this reminded me of a shitty 80s movie. What the fuck am I thinking of? Yes.
Hey,
Ophelia,
they
this
can
was
call you
also a
girlfriend
crappy 2000s
instead of calling you whore. Yeah, that
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
yeah, you remember when he was outside her window, wiping the tears away from her?
Wiping the
and he was like,
I was like,
if you just let me in. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, listen, yeah, so, you know what? That movie was trash. All three was, because nobody left feeling exciting. Everybody left feeling empty.
No.
Like, we just sat through. Like, you can't get that part of your life back. Like, Disney owes us all a check for that time of our lives.
Disney owes us $20 each movie to the world. That should be part of the similar package.
They just, you know what I mean?
Now that would be $600 worth that I would accept.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trump be like, you know
give
what?
Back my
for
time.
each of these movies that I wasted time seeing.
Trump's gonna be like, I'm gonna pardon Ryan Johnson.
Hey, dude, he's pardoning
movie.
everybody else. He may as well. And J.J.
Right.
Abrams.
I wouldn't accept that pardon either. I'm gonna give the public $600 more for his shitty movie.
Yeah, it was horrible, man.
That'd be the best thing he did his entire presidency. So yeah, but the whole deal is just you watch The Mandalorian and how careful they are with every single thing. Like
not one lightsaber for like 15 episodes.
No, I mean we had that thing where Ahsoka shows up and it's like, whoa, wow, a lightsaber on The Mandalorian. This
for the
means
first
something.
time.
Yeah, right. And then she's like, you can try, but there are not that many Jedi left. And seriously, I had no thought, no hope that who would actually show up to answer the call, even though Grogu was like back in the days where you would get charged for long distance phone calls, racking up a massive long distance call. You like that one? So yeah, and we're like, well, who is he talking to? It's like,
I thought Ahsoka was just gonna come back, right?
Right.
Like, all right.
I mean, because they had set it up. It would have been fine if it was Ahsoka. It'd have been like, oh, cool, Ahsoka's back, because she was only in one episode. We know she's gonna be around because she's got her own spinoff. But they're like, nah, players, we're gonna drop the biggest bombshell that has somehow not been spoiled. We're gonna bring Super Jedi, and not the one who just got it because they showed up on set one day. The dude who worked for it, lost a hand, and earn that stuff.
You know, okay, not even being like a complete nerd out here. Is like they actually come up with there's been kind of the things you have to do to become a Jedi Knight, and it's like one of them is you have to have a trial of courage and loss and how you overcome that. Please tell me how Super Jedi had done any of that.
She hadn't.
Like,
I swear, if the Hunger Games hadn't come out, they wouldn't have done that with Rey.
I don't know. Hunger Games, old girl was
better. She was a better hero, way better hero.
She was developed. There was an actual character development, an arc.
And she didn't win everything.
Arc. There is no arc. It's a straight line
for any character. for
It's
any
one
of them.
crappy movie to the other. All for
Yeah.
all the characters. You know,
And
something we don't talk about a lot is Leia. They didn't do her well either.
Dude,
There's
hold
hope.
on. Give me
There's hope. Oh, we can't take that much risk, Poe. Oh, we can't. I'm like, did you see her Return of the Jedi? That was a lot of risk.
Did you, dude? She was like, "Oh, word!
You see
I'm
any of
dressed
these
up as a
movies?
bounty hunter and be in a skinny
Right.
bikini because I'm gonna kill this fat slug."
Yo, I killed Jabba the Hutt.
Second he turns his back on me. It was one of the most gangster things in Star Wars. She choked him out, and she didn't use the Force. She used the force of her hand and the
She
chain.
used a damn chain.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
that was
She
the
like,
most
"Oh,
like 80s
I'm your slave,
fight
nah, player."
ever.
Yeah.
Chain.
like, and another thing we don't even talk about enough is like, in between all of the other Star Wars, there was a gap to like, okay, we have a little time to develop these characters. Even though, like, hey, the scroll is like, hey, here's kind of what they've been doing in the 2 years since you last saw them. All of these were like 5 minutes after the last one. Hey, here's they're
Right.
still running from these. You know, they blew up their big planet, but somehow there were enough of them left to chase you around. And Snoke was kind of close, so he catches up.
Where is an entire fleet hanging? And who was building all this stuff?
And you guys didn't. You guys supposedly were running the galaxy, but then became a rebellion because that makes so much effing sense.
Yeah,
but then you only have one planet where you have all your stuff. Like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, where's Lothal?
See, somebody's been watching the Clone Wars. I mean, Rebels. Good job.
Rebels, I'm on it.
Very good.
But it's just so much ridiculousness. I love the ideas in The Mandalorian that there are pockets of the Empire that weren't wiped out because they weren't all hanging out at the Death Star, but
Right.
they're not organized and they can get taken out because there's no central leader, nobody rallying them, and they're able to get defeated and have random Mandalorians and his crew just blow up all their stuff. I like that idea. And that's a premise that can go on for a long time.
For a while.
Yeah,
And the other
all the
thing, yeah, and the other thing, man, like we get Clone Wars callbacks. We get callbacks to pretty much everything. And I'm not talking about just one episode, which we actually did. We got a callback in everything in that season finale just now, right? Like to literally everything.
Yo, Gunner, the part, one of my favorite parts.
Nope. Okay.
One of my favorite parts from the 20th time that I watched it was when Bo goes, "A Jedi," and you hear it in her voice, like, "Oh man, a Jedi."
Right.
I know what these guys can do. Maybe there's a way that we can all escape without getting killed and massacred by these robots.
Right.
And when that pays off, it's like, oh man, she wouldn't understand the Jedi showing up.
But there's also the other good thing about the apprehension in her voice is like, you know, if this is a Jedi, is this the Jedi who used to work with us, or is he one who was thinking we're all part of Death Watch and he's gonna have no time for us, so he sees us with Grogu, we might have a problem.
That's what I thought. It was like a little apprehension in her face, you know, acting. Since we're talking about the trilogy, you know, acting.
Who knew?
Whoa. But yeah, man, that's the other thing. It was like there was no callback to like the Clone Wars or anything. I know they would have been a long time ago for these people, but at least say something. Like, I don't know, man. And that whole Yoda.
Gunner,
Yoda
there was
situation
like very little
was a lot.
connection to Empire, Return of the Jedi, or
Nothing.
Star Wars. They were
Which
acting
I'm
like they
okay
were
with
telling
if
an
you
original
do it
story.
right.
And remember, she'll always be a princess to me. That counts, right? No? Okay.
Those movies are trash. Okay, let me move on because I can just
Yeah,
bash
how do you make the first
sequel
movie completely
trilogy.
crappy? Anyway.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman 1984 is coming out Friday, but apparently it's not the best sequel that people were expecting from DC's extended universe.
Huh.
And there's a vast split between my fellow critics who've already seen it. Some are like, this is exactly the movie we needed in 2020. Others are like, I need to take a drink before I write my review on this movie.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Warner Brothers, were y'all tripping with this? oh, this was such a great movie. And I'm like, whoa, this is Wonder Woman. I expect to come put on my gloves, defending Man of Steel, Dark Batman vs Superman. But Wonder Woman 2 is in bad shape. What will a terrible slash mediocre slash Wonder Woman 1984 mean for you, Chief? Because you have been waiting for this movie for 5 years.
It'll be just a continuation of what DC does if it's garbage. Um, and it's funny that you say that because this thing was supposed to come out not this year, but 2019.
Chief,
It was
let me tell you. Let me tell you. So Patty Jenkins was doing an interview with the New York Times. She was explaining this whole deal. So she said it was really strange of Warner Brothers to give the movie a release date that no one was sure was that they were going to be able to meet. It was a group of us sitting around going, I don't know, I guess we could say 3 months from now and then see what happens. And she said the biggest issue was not being given as much time as expected for post production. I never wanted to I never wanted it to come out in the winter. I was fighting the studio because we were supposed to come out summer of 2020. And then they didn't have a big movie for 2019. I was in the middle of making a limited series, and all of a sudden they announced that they had moved up the release date by 7 months, which was going to give me way less time to make the movie that I had for Wonder Woman. I was saying, you guys, why would you guarantee I can't make as good of a film by making it too quick? So we argued about that all year, and I had to drop out of doing a whole limited series and only do the first 2 episodes, and just race to write an 80-page treatment at the same time as I'm trying to direct the show. We finally got lucky that it got moved back. It would have been a much worse movie if it had come out then.
much worse. That's
That was the words that I pulled out from that. Is like, uh
so the movie's shit. So it'd have been a much worse movie. God damn. How do you?
Damn, worse.
Right off the break. She didn't say
What show was she doing? I don't remember. What show was she doing? That was.
I don't know. Let me pull up
You should know this, right?
what she was working on.
I mean,
But
this is just like if
that
this had
doesn't
came out like
sound-
6 months ago, nobody would have bought HBO Max because we'd been like, oh, no, we'll wait till we get some actually quality because the director's telegraphing that this movie is complete garbage.
Oh, it's probably I Am the Night. That came out in 2019.
Oh.
That was Chris Pine.
What now?
I Am the Night. It was on
don't care about
TNT.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah, that's the one.
Tyler Perry's network? Yeah, I'm good.
TNT.
Yeah.
TNT had some Tyler Perry crap on there, man.
Man, everybody has some Tyler Perry crap on it.
And I stopped watching them. HGTV, as long as HGTV good, I'm good.
That
So,
is
fellas,
crazy.
help me out here. Chief, what's your thought?
Wow.
I'm just a much worse movie. I, and it's funny because I remember we all had a conversation like 1984. Like, what the? Like, why would? Because it's when they did Batman Superman, uh, he pulled up an old picture of her from when she was in World War. Was it one or two? World War Two.
One.
It was one.
Yep.
So he pulled up an old picture of her when she was in World War One, right? So
Yep.
I was always trying to figure out, well, why would you pull up the World War One picture if this motherfucker came out in '84?
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, why would you be like, oh, you've been here before if 1984 you running around? Of course people saw you like they always mess up the timeline or do something crazy. And I was always wondering, I said 84. I said this is gonna be like I could almost feel like this might go bad. And to know that people haven't it hasn't been a unanimous. Oh, I love the movie because the first one, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about the
Me
first
neither.
one.
Right.
Never.
So
I thought it was just a bunch of those man-childs who were like,
Right.
let's bomb the reviews from Wonder Woman 84 and make it look like a trash movie because we have to
Mm.
pay for it on HBO Max. Apparently, this is legitimate beef with critics and not
Uh-oh.
just fanboys.
You know, that scares me, man. I can't, you know, we gotta wait you know what I'm saying? Like a 2-year wait and it's garbage?
Yeah,
That,
on
Right.
Rotten Tomatoes
like,
right now, it's 75%.
well, come on,
all right.
Early release.
what's the other movie with Emily Blunt that I love?
Quiet Place.
Huh?
Quiet Place.
Yes. Come on, Quiet Place.
You said Emily Blunt. Yeah, okay. So this is 190 reviews so far, and it's at 75%.
Uh-oh.
That's not 90%. That's not 93%.
Yeah.
That's
So somebody didn't enjoy it.
Uh-oh. This is
Somebody was
not
standing
bold.
clapping at the end. You know.
Yeah.
And then what the hell is Chris Pine doing back? Yeah,
I'm gonna watch
It's
this
just
very
all
soon.
messed up. I want to see what happens.
Yeah,
But it looks all messed up.
It's only a day. It's only a day away. But damn it, like, come on, man. DC, man. I mean, listen. Because hold on, man. Because yesterday we were doing a little chat with each other about DC Universe and how they flubbed the bug on this thing. So now all of a sudden DC Universe is out and and all they
that app
offered
was
is
faulty
comics.
anyway. Yeah.
Like, Joe, you had shows on the joint. We was watching the show. Like, so Disney puts together this that comes after DC, and then they put together this model where they're showing you where they've got original shows coming out, content coming out, and then DC puts out nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Two shows.
Right.
Just two.
They put out like two. They canceled one, and then they put out like what was it, Stargirl and the Teen Titans, and there was another show that they did.
They did Doom Patrol and
Doom Patrol.
And, Titans, and then the third season of whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Of what the hell? Young Justice. Thank you.
And so
that was it.
And this is my thing. So we paid premium. Everybody paid this premium price, right? And then we got shit. And then they're like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cancel that now, y'all.
Right.
But you can keep it and watch and read comics.
From like 5 years ago, of course. Not new and recent comics, but like 5 years ago comics.
Right.
God, they're supposed to be doing recent ones according to the email. I'm just repeating the email.
Right, and then you can keep, if somebody makes a book, you can read the book for 3 months.
Right.
Like, yo, what are you doing out here, DC? Who runs that? You know, who is running DC Comics?
Warner Brothers, obviously, and they're messing it up.
You know what I mean? Like I can tell you, man. He's like that old commercial. I snort coke so I can work more hours, so I can make more money, so I can buy more coke. Like that's how I feel like these dudes are doing. They're just in a circle in there.
Yeah, man.
Gunner, what you think?
It ain't no good. This is gonna be whack, man. Please don't let it be whack. Maybe it's just people's opinion. They don't jump up to 95 or something. I don't know. I'm just hoping it's not whack, man. Like, this is 75 ain't bold and well for something that only 100 some odd people saw, man. Like, come on, man. Like, that's not good for 100 and some odd people. That average is whack. You remember in class when you were like, yo, I got 100%, so I only missed like 10 questions. I still got a B. But, like, you know, you miss like 10% of the questions on a day. You miss more than 10% of the questions on a 2-question test or 10-question test. You're like, oh, man, my average is ass. Like, that's what I feel like is happening right now. So I don't know, man. This is going to be I do, piggybacking off what Chief said, man. I'm like, that DC app, I was kind of excited when I got the email. They're like, we're just moving all this content to HBO Max. I'm like, thank God. I can cancel this bullshit so I get HBO Max from AT&T for free for a while. So I'm like, cool, I can cancel this bullshit because I can't even read the comics off that joint. Like, even that was tripping. Remember, I was on his podcast many moons ago bitching about how buggy this damn app is. And as somebody that creates them, I'm sitting here like, this is trash. And I still can't just pull up an app on my Samsung TV downstairs that I got 2 years ago. It's still not on there. Like, they have not worked with Samsung yet. So I have it on my Apple TV. So I got to, like, hook up the Apple TV to the Samsung. Like, it don't make no sense because Disney, Prime, HBO Max are all on every platform you can think of. DC was like, nah, I don't know about that. So I'm sitting here like, are you kidding me? Like, I was like, y'all ain't put no effort in this joint. Y'all just wanted to put something out before Disney put it out. And then you got lapped anyway because you knew you were going to be lapped. Like, that's loser. That's like, I tell clients don't do that, man. I'm like, that's loser talk. Don't do that. If you're not going to do it right, don't do it. Period. I'm not going to do it. I'm not putting my name on it. So I'm glad they didn't ask me because I'd have been like, yeah, y'all trying to do too much. Bye. So I'm very happy to be canceling my $7.99 a month on January 21st.
How about you, JC? You glad you canceled your DC Universe?
I know everybody can't see him, the face I'm giving Jeff, and that's not really nice, Jeffrey. Some people, when they get notifications on their phone, somehow ignore those notifications, and then 4 days later, they see they should have canceled. The $84 is going to be flushed down the drain. But you know what? I mean, that's the worst I got to deal with. I mean, I'm a little salty.
Wait, you paid yearly?
Yeah.
I was like, this thing's going to crash at any time. I want my money back. I'm going to do this month to month because these Bamas don't know what they're doing.
It's funny because, like, after season 2 of Titans, we're like, okay, when's the next show coming out?
Stay tuned.
It's like, y'all don't have Titans 3 ready? We have teaser trailer photos. Yeah, get excited. But it's also going to HBO Max, and you're okay with that, right? Hey, how about Stargirl? Yeah, we got Stargirl. But if you wait a day, we're going to put it on CW.
And HBO Max.
Oh, and HBO Max. Also. So what is the actual advantage of this DC Universe app?
I can watch Superboy from the 90s.
You can also watch Lois and Clark. I know you want to see that. Wait, do you have anything in the last 5 years? Have you watched Young Justice 3 over again? I think you really should. Blu-ray for $20. I got to take another call. Bye. Yeah, I'm again a little salty, but I mean, hell, I'm gonna burn. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that $84, but I'm gonna watch like 10 shows 20 times just to make myself.
You can't. They're migrating everything over on the 21st, so you got
ain't no shows no more
now. You better read every comic in the world. You better read Crisis, Infinite Crisis, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Superboy punches a crisis, Superman punches a Superman Prime punches a crisis, Flash screws up another crisis. You just read them all. Read them all, dog.
So you're saying I should open my DC Universe emails, huh?
Hey, Gunner,
yeah,
come to read the
Doomsday Clock and a crisis. Like, come on.
Hey, again, that might be the only way I can actually read, what was it? What was the last crisis they called? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Doomsday Clock. That might be the only way to actually read that thing. Can't ever find it in the comic book store. But
I ordered it from Amazon. Go ahead and order it from Amazon.
But
yeah, dog. You can borrow mine. There you go.
Yeah.
And fellas, that seems like a perfect segue to wrap things up with our nominees for Dummies of the Week. Sorry, bro. All right, here, let's turn it around. Who would you like to nominate, bro?
I would not like to nominate myself, first off. But I'm going to talk about somebody who's got millions of dollars on the line and tries to do the dumbest thing possible to make sure he can't make them again. So instead of my dummy of the week is Mr. Dwayne Dwayne Haskins, the Washington football team's quarterback for today. So, as most guys who make a lot of money have a bad day, pre-pandemic, they'll blow it. They're a single guy. They'll go to the club, go to a strip club, make himself feel better. Except it's 2020, and you can't do that. So Dwayne gets photographed in the strip club. I don't know which strip club he went to in DC that has whatever, but he went there, no mask on, and the pictures came back to the team, so he has to send out the apology. Oh, I'm sorry about my behavior. I'll need to learn. I'm not, I'm a 20-year-old man that doesn't want to be playing on this team, but I'm really going to make sure I get kicked off this team as soon as possible. But yeah, and it's like after a bad game when you don't look, there's no guarantee you're going to be on the team next year. This is pretty much a way to just say, hey, son, we need to talk. Yeah, that ceremonial captain thing, we're going to take that away from you easy. That's the easy thing. But when the season's over and we're, 6-10, when the season's over, you can just pack up your locker. You just don't even bother. You're good. But, yeah, some other team will see if you're worth it, but it ain't going to be us. So that is why Mr. Dwayne Haskins is my dummy of the week.
Smart choice. Gunner, do you have one?
Not really. I mean, I heard about these cats. Their names won't ring a bell. They're not famous people. Antonio Murdoch and Brianna Greco and their dog, who cares, just decided to open up a door on Delta Airlines flight at LaGuardia going to Atlanta. And, just decided to open it up while I was taxiing on the plane and just rolled out. So they've been reprimanded or something. I forgot what happened with them. All I know is that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life. Like, what is wrong with you? Like,
right.
I don't know. And strong 3 guesses where they're from. Because I was like, where are they from? And I'm like, why am I surprised? 3 guesses. You only need 1. Florida.
I was going to say, the actual answer. So, wait, the plane was taxiing on the runway. They decided, all right, we can't wait to get to the gate. We're just bailing out.
Yeah, but it was headed towards Atlanta. It was at LaGuardia, it was headed to Atlanta. So they didn't even, they were going. They weren't even coming. So one thing, if you were been on the flight and be like, yo, I got to fuck out. I need some air. Smells like COVID in here. I don't know, something. Smells like COVID in the parts. But it's going to Atlanta, headed to Atlanta from LaGuardia, and the Bama's were just like, yo, I got to get out.
So I have 2. Mine is James Harden because he wants to be traded from the Rockets and is doing everything, including trying to catch COVID to get out of town. So his birthday was a couple days ago, and he went to a strip club. Maybe he went to the same one that Dwayne Haskins checked out. And he also didn't have a mask. He's come on to Instagram and social media and said, I wasn't in a strip club. But wherever he was partying. He wasn't wearing a mask. And now apparently some of the Rockets have had to isolate because of COVID contact. Not good. And the other one is Fox News host Maria Bartiromo, because she was interviewing a meat company CEO, and then after she did the interview, she found out that she actually wasn't talking to the CEO of the meat group. She was talking to an animal rights activist.
Huh.
Gotta love the Fox. All right, so those are my nominees for Dummies of the Week. Fellas.
Journalism. That's hilarious.
Yes. Check your sources. Fellas, thank you all, as always, for rolling with me. And thank you all out there for listening. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whichever you celebrate. And we'll be back next week to close out 2020. Mercifully so. Bring your bullets, your shotguns, your axes, and anything else you'd like to set this year aflame, because we're going to roast 2020, deservedly so. And that's it. We'll holler at y'all next week. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.